very much. I will introduce the session whilst the PowerPoint is going to be sorted out and resolved, hopefully with just within a few minutes. So this session today, thank you all for coming. This session is an EU project, also funded by UKRI. And it's a project where we've been working to support disadvantaged girls in developing and building their confidence in their political voice. So this is the overall aim of the project. Myself, I'm from Roehampton University, a professor there. I have Sophie Smith with me. She's from VUB, the Belgian partners on the project, and been delivering the projects in Belgium. And then I have two fantastic teachers with me, Teresa and Danielle, and they're going to talk also about their experience of doing this work, what the students thought, and how it went in the first round of this project. Okay, as I said, the main aim of this work is to build the confidence of disadvantaged young people, and we're working in 6 countries overall. And we also have, as well as Belgium and the UK, we have the Czech Republic, Spain, Denmark, and Germany. And what we've been doing is we've been testing, developing through piloting and through running experiments in schools and testing out different education methodologies, different processes to see what works in terms of increasing the confidence of girls' political voice. And so what I'm going to talk to you today, and we're going to have a bit of discussion on as well, is that first pilot. And then we're going to talk to you about the possibilities of joining in after the pilot and helping upscale this work so that we can build more confidence in disadvantaged girls in the area of politics. Great. So as I move on seamlessly to the slides, we're about to have the first slide go up fully on the screen. Okay, yes, here we are, exactly at the right moment. So the project is aiming at these specific learning outcomes. So we pulled down the learning outcomes of confidence in politics into different dimensions. So it's a bit weird being on the edge here, but I do my best to pull off. Okay, so the first one is about improving confidence in knowledge and understanding in politics. We know that actually the area and the domain which girls are the least confident on is this. It's not that they actually know less, but in the surveys when they ask questions on confidence in different areas, this is the area that girls always say they're less confident on and boys say that they're more confident on. So knowledge and understanding of politics, broadening the understanding of what is politics, because we know that also when students are asking questions and we're interviewing, they have a very narrow understanding of what politics is. And if you can broaden the understanding out, then they become more interested. If they start to realize that it's also to do with what they're taught in school, what they do after school and in their everyday life. If they understand that it's broader, then they start to become more interested in it. And so this helps us in the second part of this to reduce resistance to using the word politics. Improving self-confidence in understanding, in participating in political activities in school, we know it's very important, but also improving the self-confidence in wanting to politically engage in the future, both in the local context, but also to imagine and visualize that they could also stand as an MP or in the local council as well. And finally, challenging preconceptions and stereotypes. One of my researchers was in a school just last week where there were a group of boys discussing politics and they said, oh no, girls and women shouldn't be allowed to vote. So, I mean, these ideas are still out there, they need to be challenged, as well as perceptions of who is a politician, who is a leader. And there is work to do still, we know that from our research in the field. So those are the learning outcomes that we're aiming for within our interventions. And what happens we came together with two teachers who were both from the ACT conference last year and three other teachers from around the UK. And we presented the research to them on what we know so far and what helps to increase confidence in politics. Where exactly are the differences and what we need to work on? And then together with the teachers, we created an amazing pilot study, which has 5 classes in there. And what we're going to show you is the outcome of this. But we then went to students and showed them what we developed in our co-construction meeting. And the students, some of them said, oh no, that's boring, get rid of that, this is boring. And then they said, oh, but we want some short films from MPs. Okay, so we went and got some short films from MPs. So we listened to their feedback, we adapted what we did. We had a national advisory board with Zoe at the back there, David at the back there on our national advisory board, as many as well as, oh yes, we have some new members coming as well from the Parliament. And so we have yes, we've got some national feedback. And then it also went to Belgium. So what the UK teachers had created and developed then went to Belgium and went through the teachers in Belgium, then looked at it and said, oh, well, we need to make some, change it a bit to the Belgian context. And this was done, so it was made relevant to students in Belgium. And then it went to the Czech Republic as well. So it kind of went on their own journey, and then they went to the students in these different countries. And they all met back up at the European Advisory Board, where we had international actors as well as people working on the European level, giving feedback and then also listening and hearing the feedback from other countries. And then, so then it came back to the teachers again, and we finalized a version of the 5-class intervention. And they're in schools at the moment, and you can ask Daniel and Teresa about their experience because this is happening right at the moment. Also, it's finished in Belgium. In Belgium, they've got their work done. So, yeah, we have the pilot at the moment. So we're just going to talk you through a little bit about what we have developed. And then I'm sure next year we will give you more advice on, oops, going the wrong way. More advice on what comes out. So the inclusive methods that we've tested through the experiments and found to be effective so far are to use small groups before you go into large groups. So the typical in UK, everybody knows think per share, but now it's also known in Belgium and Czech Republic as well. We found that this has a positive effect to increasing girls' confidence. Also, in the UK context, we found the use of counter narratives. So a story that we used of a lady from London who's made policy change on pollution, and the Prime Minister from Barbados, the female Prime Minister from Barbados. And these two counter narratives increased the confidence of girls' political confidence in experiments. So we've taken on the idea of using counter narratives and the role models, which was also the request from the students. So we've got role models, MPs, video clips from them. And we know from the previous research that creative production is also an effective method for increasing confidence. Yes, so we include those methods. And also, just to make a nod to the AI world, we went the other direction. We wanted to make this accessible and usable in as many schools as possible. So we used minimal use of technology and tried to avoid making anything overcomplicated or having any requirements of materials which might exclude a particular school from participating. And so minimal costs as well to do it. So it's 5 lessons, 40 minutes each, and to be done within a block of 5 weeks. And yes, so the Belgian and Czech one is slightly different. So mostly just contextual difference. Okay, and so this is what it looks like. So it's 5 lessons that fit with the year 9. So it's the curricula which you need to complete within year 9 for citizenship education as well. So we have lesson 1 on what is politics. We'll have a look in more detail at the images that we provide to provoke the discussion on this. Lesson 2, how do I fit into politics? This is like a bit like a voter advice application where we give the kids a quiz in order that they can find out where they fit on the political spectrum. Then 3, how do I create change? And this is where we use the notion of the counter-narrative case study, which in fact we use the outskirting case study of how ordinary women have managed to create a change in the law and make that illegal. And then it comes on to how will we create change, and this is where their creative production comes into form, and they develop, we have a case study, a choice of 2 case studies on, we'll come to that, I won't tell you that until we see it. And then the final one is on the performance of change. So after they've done the creative production in one session, then they perform it to the rest of the class. So, try to get through. These are all the resources that we provide. So these will obviously be tweaked for the final version, but we have a whole set of resources so that the teachers don't have to do very much, just to we have the material already developed for use. We have the political spectrum quiz, the digital images to provoke the discussion, what is politics. We have definitions, we have 10 films of female politicians as role models, updated case study, and the different, here we have the ethnicity and gender pay gap, or the lack of diversity in English literature reading for GCSE, and specific success criteria for the production. So this is lesson 1 here. Oops, let the video go down. Okay, perfect. Okay, so in lesson 1.
Hi, I'm Munira Wilson, and I'm the Member of Parliament for
Twickenham. Make it louder. So this is what an example of the MP. We just emailed them and asked them if they would do short films and why they got into politics and why it's important that people from all different backgrounds should be involved in politics.
I would love to see more people of all backgrounds getting into politics. The reason I'm an MP is because I really wanted to make a difference on the issues that I care about, things like education and young people's mental health and young people's rights in this country and far beyond. We need people of all different backgrounds in politics because everybody brings different life experiences and different viewpoints into the room. And you can't make a good decision about how to change things for the better without all of those different viewpoints in the room. So diversity is really important. If you're thinking about getting involved in politics, whether that's a really local issue in your street or your area, or something national or something international, please make your voice heard. We need so many more young people to get active in our politics, whether that's party politics or single issue campaigns. There are lots of different ways you can get involved.
So that is the examples, and most of them, they're very short. They start off, this one, I think we started a bit in the middle, but it's okay. She started off by talking about why they get into politics. And so we have, for example, Kimberly Bitter as well, talking about Jo Cox and why this motivated her to participate, to become a politician too. So we have a wide range from all different political parties as well. But nothing is party political. Everything is just about why they get involved and why it's important to have diverse voices. So we just.
Hi, I'm Munira Wilson.
Sorry. Okay, I go go on to the next one. In lesson one, also you get all these pictures of challenging pictures, all different kinds of things, and they have to do a diamond line about what is more or what is less politics in their ideas, to get a discussion going on that. Then session 2 is how do I fit into politics? So this is where they have the opinion poll, where they have a quiz, and we're asking them all their idea about, you know, where their answers different questions. Then if they're more A's, they're left. If they're more B's, then there's the centre. And if they're more C's, then they're on the right. And then it starts a discussion on what is the political spectrum. And what we have available as well is information not just on the UK, but where for the different countries, if you have migrants from different countries in your lesson, then we have the material on which political parties fit the different contexts for the different migrant groups who are there, so that they see a different perspective, not only which parties fit where inside the UK context. Okay, and then each session has their own set of videos. So, session 4 is on how will we create change, and this is the activity where they get the 2 case studies, and they can choose what they want to work on, and so it's either ethnicity pay gap, or to do with the lack of diversity in English literature for GCSE. Then they work in small groups, deciding how they're going to create change. And within this, then they can choose different kinds of activity. It could be a protest, could be a letter to a politician, could be a video. There is a whole range of activities and options that the students can do. But we give a set of criteria, focusing, as we got feedback from our advisory board, focusing in particular on making a strong and convincing argument for change. And then in session 5, we'll work.